comment of being crabs in a barrel.
Right.
It was the same joke we used to have at work. It's like, as people of color, we all trying to get to the top, but we don't ever want to reach down and bring the next person along with us. It's or everybody seems to be for themselves, and it's weird. Even at my former job as a daycare school teacher, I mean, I left the Board of Ed, and then I went into daycare, and it's like I'm looking at the culture of parents coming in, and as you said, it's like I've noticed our African brothers and sisters from Africa will stick together. But our American blacks, oh, we got our noses so far up that we can't see what's right in front of us. Everything is there, and I'm raising a black man, and I want him to grow up to see that things have progressed, things have changed. We just left Harlem, and it's interesting to see how we've broken off. In the 60s, yes, I understand our Martin Luther King, our this. My son can't relate to any of those people. They mean absolutely nothing to me. He's like, Mom, who are they? And it's like, wow, I learned about it in school, but as a community, how do we bring it all together so that we learn to stick together, we learn to love and respect one another, and keep on going up and bringing the next person with you.
And that's what it's all about. I mean, support. We kind of have this. I have guys on my job who they'll say to me, "Yo, Pete, I don't have to buy your book because I know you sold X amount already. When you gonna buy that Mercedes?" Okay? And I would look at them like, wow. First of all, they don't understand where I'm at. Okay? I don't have the agents or the publishers who run with Steven Spielberg and Stephen King chilling with me. I'm doing this all by myself. I probably won't be able to spend a penny of what I'm getting yet until maybe another year or two, because everything that I get is either going back into promotions or it's going back into advertising or it's just going back into what I'm trying to campaign in the first place. And it goes back to the support thing. I have some other business that I do on the side, and my wife and I, we bought our house, was it 2007 or 8? 2008. And in 6 months, we were introduced to a system, this program that shows you the different algorithms or the different ways that you can pay your house down without overtime money, okay? And basically it's just showing you what the bank do with your money, and now it's going to show you how to do the same thing. So instead of paying for your house or your debt in 30 years, you pay for it in 11 or 12 years, and you save yourself probably the price of a new house. So I was a client, and after, what was it, 4 months, babe? 6 months? She didn't even know I got down with this because I thought she would have been like, nah, you ain't spending your money on this, so forth and so on. So I took a chance and just did it anyway. And then once we saw the difference, then I brought it to her attention. And when she saw the numbers and saw the savings and see that we're not at 30 years now, but we're at 22 years, okay, in 6 months, and we're getting this verified from the bank itself that this is where we're at. That's when she became a believer and things just started happening. So I believed in the system so much that I became an agent, because I work for transit, and nearly everybody just bought a house or they just bought a car, and then they know people. I'm like, I'm not trying to make money off of you. I'm trying to get you down with what I'm doing. That way it could save you some money. The first thing they do, I'm a black man, okay? I'm young, because most of the cats that I'm talking to are older than me. What can you possibly tell me that I don't already know? That's the attitude, right? 2, you're black. We already know that we steal from each other every day. We swindle, we con, we do so many different things to each other every day. You're down with that. I ain't getting down with this program. So I'm like, fine. and I walk away. But then I get a white man who's a part of the same thing that I'm at to come in and talk to the same people who I just talked. And everybody's like, yeah, they sign in lines and they do. And I'm like, this is some crazy stuff. I'm too black for you to believe me. But I could get any Joe who's white to come in here and just go, who wants to be down? And just sign in that line. You know, and that's, it's sad though, because in a way, I don't blame a lot of us for being reluctant, because how many people out there who they're conning us?
But let me tell you, on the same line, you know, Barnes and Nobles, people go into Barnes and Nobles. Do you ever go into Barnes and Nobles and go to the counter and say, oh no, this book is too much. Can you give this book to me for less?
Nope.
You know, you want me to pay $20 for this book? You know how many people come in here and will say to me, $20 for this book? That's too much. But they don't do that in Barnes and Noble. They don't do that. We are treated so different because of
Which
is again, I'm saying we gotta get
Barnes
over.
and Noble probably gets it for cheaper because they're buying it.
Of course.
So you need to buy it, and so they getting more from
it's
it.
amazing. We need
Yeah,
to support.
tax.
We need to support each other. That's what it comes down to.
Together.
I
Can I say one more thing?
Sure.
I saw School Days by what's his name?
Spike Lee.
Spike Lee.
Spike
I
Lee.
saw it when it first came out because I Spike Lee, whatever. Everyone seen School Days? Okay, well,
They're
you have
too young to know what that
okay.
is.
No, it just came on TV.
It just came on TV. That's the
Okay,
thing. I was gonna say.
okay.
It just came back on TV, but you need to see it because that's what it's all about. So it's supposed to be a college town, and it's light skinned blacks against dark skinned blacks, the good hair, the guys that are in the step in, and the ones that. And when I first saw it when it came back on, when it ended, what's the guy's name who? Fishburne. At the end, he gets everybody out there and he yells. He says, "Wake up!" And I'm saying, "Oh, what a corny ending!" It just when this came on TV the other night, it hit me. I said, "Yes, that's what it is. We have to wake up for God's sake. We have to stop doing this to each other."
Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! Wake up!
Yes.
No, go ahead.
A good movie to watch is Hotel Rwanda.
Go what?
Hotel.
Oh, I saw that, but that's about but it's the African.
The African version.
The African. Yeah, it was two of them that came out about the whole genocide and whatever. Yeah, but it's really heart wrenching. It is so hard. There's two. One with Don Cheadle. Was that the one with Don Cheadle?
I don't know.
One was with Don Cheadle, the dark skinned guy, and then another one came out on HBO with another. I think it was something about rainy day in April or something. This all happened, and it's so funny you said that because a friend of mine, we just started emailing. He just emailed me this whole thing about the background. You know, it was about the 2 C's and whatever, and the genocide, and so that happened in Africa.
Okay.
I discovered, maybe some of you have heard of, I don't know whether I said this name right, Maisles Cinema. Has anybody ever heard of it?
Say it again.
Maisles Cinema? Yeah, Maysles.
Mason.
But it's awesome. It's awesome. They just like how you presenting and promoting independent authors, they present and promote independent films.
Okay.
And I went to, I think it was last Saturday night, I went to a film on the real history of graffiti. They called it, because what happened was that a lot of people, there was one book that was by these two white authors who I met, by the way, who are pretty cool people. They really were very sincere. I thought there were only 10 graffiti artists back in the 1980s. But from there was like a huge, there was like more to it. And so I learned it from that film. But I went back and I took the flyer home, and they have all kinds of stuff, like the history of Haiti. They're gonna have the history of hip hop this coming Thursday. But it's like it's like this size.
Where is it?
It's on 127th Street in Lenox. But you know what? Next time I'll try to get some cards.
Okay.
Because it's hard to say the name. I don't know how to say it. Maisles. I don't know.
And like one thing about like you brought up School Days, being that we, a little older, different ages, we took that. I think we took it for granted having Cosby Show or Different World or just Spike Lee movies every year. A Spike Lee movie turning on black circus. Now black movies is all. No offense to Tyler Perry, but it's just different. Whereas like Spike Lee giving us messages that were really significant, and we don't even have that anymore. So you figure, oh, now it's gonna open the door. It's gonna be all these black. Because he was so real, it's like we don't want those movies. We want whatever they produce. We want Boys in the Hood or Boys in the Hood was a good movie, but just movies that were just more. Will show the gangster stories. Will show the crazy black woman story. But we just don't show a black man write a book and teach young people. That's not an interesting story. You know what I mean? And you don't see that in the cinema no more.
Let me tell you something. When I first got the book out, when my wife actually first got the book out, okay, I got these cards printed up, okay, and I got these cards printed up. You got yours already? Well, I'll give it to you.
I got it.
You got, okay. All right, I got these cards printed up, and I drive the BX6 line, okay? And I wait for this lady at Melrose where the 41 Cross connects, and I've been doing it for 6 years, to the point where the people now
You
at
wait
first,
because bus
yeah,
drivers.
cause I'll wait because I'll see her bus coming. I know that if I miss, or if she missed this bus, then she's gonna have to wait another 30 minutes for the next bus. So, and that's just 2 minutes. I'll kill a light. And when I first started doing it, people used to be like, yo, come on, the light is cheap, but paid them no attention. And they kind of got used to it because they know, oh, he's gonna wait there for 2 minutes for this bus. So this lady, she gets on, and I always take her into Manhattan. She gets up at Edgecombe. So I handed her a card, and I told, this is in November, I handed her a card, and I told her, I wrote a book. Would you support me? So she said, yes, no problem. I only know her as Miss. I've never really asked her her name, so I just know her as Miss or you know, or ma'am or whatever. Okay? So anyway, Mr. Boone, thank you for joining us.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chisholm.
All right. So what happened is she ordered the book, and as you can see, I have my email address on the bottom of the card. So I got an email from her where she said, Sister Ad, and a telephone number, call me. So when I called her, I had no idea who this person was. But I
You
called.
didn't remember she was late from the bus.
I didn't know her name,
Gotcha.
because I only know her as ma'am or
Gotcha.
miss for the
Nice.
6 years that I was picking her up. I only know her as ma'am. So I called her, and I was like, this is Peter Chisholm, who's this? And she's like, hi Peter, how you doing? This is Sister Abigail.
Gotcha.
So I'm still like, yes. And she's like, Peter, you wait for me every night. And once she said, she didn't have to finish, once she said that, I knew who she was. So she said to me, I have to apologize to you. So I'm like, what are you apologizing for? She said, my body's covered with tattoos. In the summertime, I look like, you can read me. It's like my whole body's, right. So another book, right? So when I'm wearing my short sleeve shirts, you know, you see the tattoos and my hairstyle. So she said, although you've been a very good bus driver for me, I stereotyped you and I judged you based on your appearance. And she thought that my book was a gangster book, straight up gangster, because I fit that profile. And she said, I'm apologizing because I've been an ordained minister for over 10 years. And I should have known better than that. She says that her church is, I think she said 143rd in St. Nicholas or St. Nicholas Place, somewhere around that area. So she said, I read the first chapter and I was getting ready to put it down because my book is real. Cursing, sex, it's very graphic. But something made her go on to the next chapter. And she said, I apologize because I realize what you are doing. Anyone who reads my book who is a Christian, or who is an educator or have high level education, they could get past the cursing. They could get past the sex and receive the message, or if they're on the same page, see what I'm talking about. But I'm trying to grab my young brothers right here who's texting on the phones and stuff. This is who I'm trying to grab, because they're the ones, like my brother said, who's wearing their pants on their knees. And too many black folks died that they can have the freedom to do what they do. Too many black folks were killed, that way we can vote. And they're over here wearing their pants off their ass like some dumbasses. I'm not going to be afraid to say it. It's dumb.
I don't do that though.
No. I'm not attacking nobody here. I'm just saying in general, it's dumb, okay?
It's disgusting.
It don't look, because if you're on the bus standing in front of my daughter and your pants is off your ass, I'm going to tell you to move. And if you don't move, we fighting. And the fight could turn into something else, because y'all cats like to pull out guns real quick. So I think that's very disrespectful. And that's just one little thing. There's so many things that we should be doing, attacking education, attacking stuff. So anyway, to go back to the story, she apologized to me and she said, I see that in your book, you're really promoting people having a relationship with God. And I said, yes, that's what it's all about. No matter what it is that we're doing in life, okay? Whether you want to call them God, Allah, Buddha, Supreme, whatever, you have to bring him in the mix of what you're doing and then keep on moving forward, because if you don't do it, things ain't going to happen the way you think it's going to happen, and the devil is just going to infiltrate and be in your life in different ways and you don't even realize it. And then when things start happening on the negative side, you're trying to figure out what happened or where did it go wrong. And she said that she's telling every young folks in her church to get my book, because she realized what it's all about. Now, if we all gave each other the chance, whether it's in the book, it's in a poetry, it's in a rap song, it's in whatever, if we all gave each other just a little time to understand or see where this person is potentially coming from and where they want to go, and will I be willing to go along with the ride? Because some of us, we don't realize we're sitting on a roller coaster until we start going up and down and you go, oh, you understand? Yeah. But here it is your opportunity. Now me, it's not all about my book. And a lot of people think, yo, you selling your book and it's all about you. And if I buy your book, how does that benefit me? Because the dollars is going in your pocket and you'll be living in your fancy house with your family and your this and that or whatever. But I have a message in here, but then it also goes back to what we were talking about, support. Supporting, because see, some of us, unfortunately, will get the money and forget where we came from. But a lot of us, there's superstars out there, Jay-Z. A lot of people, when I ask them about Jay-Z, all they talk about is the bling blings and so forth. But they don't realize that he's a positive cat too. He might have done some stuff that is not something to be happy about, but he's given back more to his communities and to the people who are willing to actually apprehend it, but they're too dense to realize what he's doing.